Hey everybody, it's Dueling1999 here in another informative video. This time I'll be covering Fort Atlantis and what it is. So if you are in game somehow, or you're just a player who's been playing for a while, and you have some questions about how to build some things or how to make a certain sign, go ahead and do /warp Fort Atlantis, and it will take you to our instructional airfield. And we're gonna have all kinds of instructional things throughout this airfield that you can go for resources for helping you build ships and stuff. And then if you come over here to this hangar, this is a hangar I built. Well, I didn't build the structure itself, but everything inside of it I built. And it's we call it the archives, and we'll continue to refer to it as the archives because it's this. The idea of it is just that it's this library of just knowledge on the plugin. So for people who like to build ships, this is where you go to learn anything and everything about ships. There's all kinds of chapters in here. I have chapters talking about buoyancy, ship classes, and weight. And I understand that it's a lot of reading, but it really pays off to read this. If you set aside the 20 minutes it takes to probably go through all these things, you'll be miles better than a player who has just joined and is choosing to learn on the fly. So we got, basic 3 principles of high caliber shipbuilding. Then you have the ship classes of high caliber. You have the different armors types and the different strengths, as well as some examples right here. All kinds of cool stuff. Examples are always on the right and information is on the left. So in this next chapter right here, you got consumables, and these are like things that deplete as you use them. Things like ammo, fuel, cargo blocks. And then we have some example turret magazines and stuff to show you guys how to store ammo, protect it, safely. And yeah. But if you come over here into this next chapter, we got functional blocks, and these are all blocks that have some sort of plug-in function to them. You can make cake inside of our ranges with cargo blocks. You can use periscopes. Even the wipers wipe when it rains. Spotlights work too. The moors, you can tie your ships to your friends' ships with the moors and tow each other with them. There's the anchors, which actually drop and they come back up and they'll stop your ship. You got a bell, lights, which change colors, all kinds of different functions. And then on the right here we have an example bridge. So we have a lot of just showing you how you can utilize some of these blocks on your builds. Over here we have like decorative blocks. So these are blocks that don't necessarily have any functions right now, but just a few examples of some colorful decorative blocks that you could use. And then we showed just how we use some of them. Our ammo lifts don't work right now in game. There's some speculation about making them work in the future, but for now they're decorative. So we have a nice decorative example here of an ammo hoist. Next chapter you got engines, all the different blocks and information about the engines, and then we have some example engines on the right. Even have a cutout of a PT boat I made just to show how you can shape your engines so that they'll still work. A lot of people get scared of the engines thinking they're really hard, but in reality they're very easy. But here we got a diesel engine example. Excuse me. We have a boiler example and a diesel electric example for subs, and all the different information associated with them. Make sure to come back here and look at those signs so you know how to make them. Over here we have cannons. We have all the different calibers of battleship guns. Those can be kind of confusing because the lengths are a little wonky, but here's examples on how to do them if you guys ever get stuck. We even have smaller caliber gun examples here. Then we have the wall of signs, and these are all the different signs that do things. So there's so many of them to cover, but things like radar, sonar, and all the different signs you can find on that wall. You can even find an example little room with a bunch of signs in it. You have programmable signs where you can view all the different gadgets and functions on the left, and then examples of how to build them, and then how they'll look when the ship is active. So, with programmable signs, you write a function and a gadget on the sign, and then when you activate the ship, that sign will turn into the lever or gadget that you've created. Moving on from that category, we have cannons or turrets, sorry, because a turret can be a cannon, but a cannon isn't necessarily a turret. So this is a chapter that tells you how to make your cannons into turrets, what kinds of things you need to consider to make sure that your turret will work and that it will function as you want. We have these glasses above it to show that these turrets are square in dimension, even though at first glance they don't necessarily look like it. Right there's a good example. You can see those iron bars right there. That sort of, you can't see thanks to the texture pack, but they actually distort this turret into being a square in dimension, despite it looking like it. Different tricks like that are what, this archives is good at showing you. Anyways, moving on from that chapter, we have depth charges and K-guns in chapter 10, so basically talks about depth charges and how to build a K-gun. Over here you have torpedoes. Torpedoes are a really new thing, but they're awesome. You guys saw my last video on it, and a lot of you guys say you really think it's cool. We have the different kinds of torpedoes and how you can change the blocks that make up the torpedo to make the torpedo behave differently to another torpedo. We also have some empty sections for future content that is planned. Over here we have the same ship that was on the other side. Obviously, it's a Corvette I made, and I chopped it in half and put it in here to show you guys that what a ship looks like when you're done with it. I got a diesel generator, a steam generator, boilers, steam engine, and this is a ship that I know I'm much more familiar with the plugin than a new player, but I built this ship in about 2 days, a night and a morning, and I think that players could easily get past the intimidating amount of signs and physics behind what we have here on High Caliber, and it could really turn into something fun. And what you put in is what you get out. You put in a lot of work and effort into trying to make the best ship you can. You'll get a really nice ship in the end. If you just kind of slap together a ship in a few minutes, you might not be very good, but with some practice and time and just playing with the plugin, you'll definitely be able to make some nice ships. But for any references that you guys need on shipbuilding in game, go to /warp Fort Atlantis, one word. Hey, good job, Flame, showing him around. This is a really good place where you can learn how to build ships. But thank you guys for watching. I hope to see you guys in a future video.